Today we are going to share the top road trips to take from the capital of Oregon. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Mariah.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are a top producing husband and wife real estate team here in Oregon. And before we get into the video, we get calls, texts, and emails from people like you who are watching our YouTube videos all the time and are thinking about relocating to our area. And we absolutely love it. So if that's you, if you are someone who is thinking about moving to Oregon or just buying or selling real estate in Oregon, then feel free to reach out anytime. I will put our contact information below. And, the reason, we do a lot of these videos, or the way that we come up with what we're going to discuss, I should say, each week is mainly a lot from questions that we get from our clients that are relocating here from other areas that have maybe never been here or just don't know a lot about the area. So whether you are somebody who is already living in our area or not, hopefully you can get some value from today's video and get some good road trip ideas because we've got summer coming up here really soon. So
road trips.
Yes.
I used to be so scared of road trips.
Scared of them?
Yeah, because
Why?
if you're an individual that grew up like myself, everywhere my family and us went, it was in a car. We
did a lot of
drove
them.
everywhere. We
Okay.
never flew.
Okay.
I know we flew to Oklahoma like twice.
Okay. Yeah,
But
that would
other
be a
than
long road trip from here.
We would drive everywhere, So I mean, the whole west coast side, the west of we drove to Montana, the Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, California, Disney. I mean, these are 20+ hour trips at times, and we did not get hotels either. So I mentioned, if you're anyone like me that might have like this back hidden, like, the car seat, I
Road
can't
trip
do
trauma.
this.
Oh my God.
I just can't do this anymore. You can make road trips better.
Yeah.
I've learned that in my adult life,
Yeah.
and whether that's having a little bit more cozy car and it's higher off the ground and you're not feeling the vibrations every,
gosh.
minute, then maybe that's in it for you. But you can really plan your road trips too. That's something
That's
I've
true.
learned. And doing simple things with you. And before we even had a kid, we did road trips to just spontaneous places.
Yeah.
So...
Well, the way I see road trips is I feel like, because obviously you can just fly, so you can fly places and
Yeah.
get there quicker. But I feel like if you're just driving there and you're focused on your whole focus is we just got to get there, then that wouldn't be very fun. But if you're
it's so hard.
we're going to take our time, listen to a good audiobook on the way or a podcast or whatever, enjoy your time in the car and stop when you feel like it and eat some good food and then get back, it's enjoyable. It's fun.
Right.
It's you enjoy the journey is what I'm trying to say. It's not if you're just we can't stop, we're going to get there. that would be pretty sucky and you should just fly at that point. But these are road trips for if you want to have a fun road trip. These are just places. Cause I was just thinking if I was going to move to another part of the country that I haven't spent a whole lot of time in, I would really want to know where all can I drive to from there? Because that's kind of exciting. Right now, living in Oregon, there's plenty of places we can drive to, but we're not going to just drive to New York because that's the whole other end of the state. But if we lived in New York, then there's plenty of places we've never been to that we could easily drive to in a easy road trip. So that's all I've got to say. And I'm sure there's, like I said, plenty more we're missing. This is just a good list to start with. Okay.
Perfect.
Do you have maps pulled up? So we can tell them the exact
I do.
destination.
So the plan is Mariah's going to give us a destination, and I'm going to kind of give you a estimated driving time of its till its destination. Does that make sense?
Yes, and these places. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, okay. The driving distance. We're going to tell you how far these places are from Oregon, but they're from the capital of Oregon, where we're at in Salem. So obviously it could be closer to you or further from you, depending on what part of Oregon you are in. Okay. The first one, it's a good one. It's Vancuver, BC. So this is a easy road trip. You really just drive through the state of Washington, and it's all I-5 till I guess the very end. There's a little bit of a pass, but it's not what am I trying to say? It's not a crazy pass. You go over the Siskiyou Pass going to California. It's not that bad of a pass.
No.
It's pretty chill, but not 99% of the trip is just straight freeway. It's pretty boring.
Did we go there? That's one
Yes.
of the. Yeah, we went to Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And you go through the border, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Border control.
Oh, yeah. No,
yes.
I thought it was pleasant. It was more straight, and it's literally one roadway,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It was
a very easy
I-5
drive.
all the way there.
Yeah.
And like she was saying, the passes, there really weren't anything treacherous. I mean, the time of year even that we went, it was colder. I know that.
It was fall. What
was
I
it
love,
fall?
yeah.
Okay.
What I love about it though is it's a quick drive. Like it's so much quicker than even, most of California. It's so far away. It's so close, but it feels far away because it is a different country, and it feels far away, and so you kind of feel like you can get like a little bit of like a diversity. Like you can get some diversity that we really are kind of lacking here in a lot of ways. You can experience that as far as like food and culture and just shopping and other things goes. You can experience that in a very short drive. Well, it's a short road trip.
No, this is way short.
It's probably the shortest one on the list. Yeah, it's short.
I seriously looked down at my
short.
phone. Do you guys want to hear how far away from Salem it is?
How far?
6 hours and 43 minutes.
6 hours.
6 hours.
That's it.
I
so
mean,
if you haven't gone yet, you got to go.
Yeah.
And
that's
also,
surprising because you mentioned like the culture part of it. Like
yeah.
I had never been to Canada. I remember. And we sat down at some restaurants. We had good food, like breakfast. And yes, it costed a little bit more, but it was fresh. It was good. And we were very happy with it food wise. And the area I thought was pretty cool because we heard like different tongues. Different languages.
There's a lot more diversity than we used to here in Oregon.
I had an Irish man serving me.
And you know how close it is it's close enough to do in a short, like we literally were sitting at an open house. It was a Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, what should we do after the open house? Should we go to the beach? Should we do this? We were maybe going to go to the coast. And then we were like, let's go to Canada. And we literally left the open house like 2 p.m., came home, packed, drove straight there. Like that's how close it is. You can do that. So 6 hours, not a bad drive. If you haven't done it, go do it. Also, Victoria, BC, British Columbia. I haven't been there, but I'm pretty sure it's only like 2 hours further, and that's like a whole other experience that sounds amazing. So
yeah, that's on the list of to-dos.
Okay, this next one is Glacier National Park in Montana.
I've been.
How
there.
far is that from here?
Let's see, Glacier National Park.
This was a stretch because we don't usually drive that far, but
that was a stretch.
But but to some people it's like a short road trip because some people like when they think of road trip they're like cross country, like hardcore, not like a 6 hour drive.
Well, my phone's loading. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
But what town is it? What's
you.
the town?
It was like Whitefish.
Whitefish, yes.
Was that it?
It's a cute town.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cute town. Okay.
11 hours, 23 minutes.
Okay. That's not
really
that bad.
not horrible if you're really thinking about it. We made the drive in a day.
And we had a baby with us, so it took a longer, but okay.
Roadways, I will say though, like, because I thought like I liked the mountains and I've grown up in them.
I thought I liked the mountains.
No, like you're driving and then you're looking at the landscape. Like there's no better landscape, I think, beauty wise, nature wise, like than Montana's was. I thought it was so beautiful.
It was pretty.
Their highway was like not what I was used to. It was like one lane, highways, and they just stretched for like hundreds of miles. And yeah, it's a little windier. It's a little bit more dangerous. So make sure you keep two hands on the wheel, especially depending on the time of the year. But I do remember just looking around and like the peaks of these mountains are so high. It's unreal. Like you're just this little tiny ant in the middle of the wilderness, seriously. And if something were to go wrong, be careful. you might be walking for a couple days.
Because there's no surface for a lot of the
insane
drive.
The amount of like space in between the houses or just the ranches, and it was like people live out here. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It brought me back to Yellowstone or something. It's awesome.
Okay, this next one, get it ready, is San Francisco, California. So there's obviously so many places to road trip to in California, and they're all going to be doable from Oregon. And some, if you're in Southern Oregon or closer that way, then obviously the road trip will be pretty quick for you. But from Salem, it is how far?
9.5 hours.
Really?
9 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Not as like terrible as you would think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's so weird because California is just right below us. yet it's almost as far as going to Montana.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
But it's even closer to go to Canada and to
I
go
know.
there.
I know. So
And also,
it's all in perspective.
what was I going to say? Oh man,
San Francisco.
Oh yeah. So also like Sacramento, not quite as fun, but it's
Close in proximity.
Fun destination, I guess. If you've never been there, there's things to do there and check out that we don't have here.
Yeah.
And that's just about 2 hours closer than I think than San Francisco.
Do you remember much along
So-
like the roadways? Was there much to do? Was it more just one freeway? Did we stop? Did we
There's
have
a
to make
lot
stops?
of towns. Obviously, it's definitely. I mean, it's I-5, so you're just like on I-5 the whole time, and there's a lot of different
You are right,
towns to stop in, and I'm sure each town, if you like looked for it, has things to do, but like not big attractions that I can think of.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is.
I-5.
I'm sure. Okay, this next one is very close. This is like the shortest road trip, and it is Seattle. You could do it in a
love
day
this
trip
road
if you
trip.
really wanted to, but it'll be a long day.
It's
But
so fun though,
yeah.
seriously, because you're in like the big city,
Yeah.
and because we have a nice big city in Portland, but Seattle is like completely different build
Yeah.
because they got the skyscrapers, they got like awesome buildings, and it's concrete jungle in my world, and it's like wow. And then on top of that, you got the ocean, and
Yeah.
it really is beautiful.
I think Seattle is my favorite city to be in. It's just refreshing to be there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that
just really
refreshment.
enjoy it. And it has a different feel to it than Portland for sure, which we're so, I mean, we obviously can go to Portland whenever we want. So we're so used to that. And it's really refreshing to go to Seattle.
What I learned like with Seattle as well is like there's different districts in Seattle. Like obviously
Yeah.
if you go to school, college, you got that
Yeah.
college district, but like there's different areas in town, and especially if you're a sports fan, they got the Seahawks and
Yeah.
the Mariners. I thought that was always fun to go do. We've watched a baseball game there, and the trip is so easy though because
so easy.
you have I-5.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a common theme that we have along the West Coast is we have the I-5 corridor.
Yeah.
It is seriously a magical route that gets you
It's magical.
to a lot of the great places in this country.
What's mind-blowing to me is it can get you all the way from Canada to Mexico. Because if you keep driving, you'll drive. Obviously, you'll drive through California. You'll get to San Diego, and then you keep going. You're in like Tijuana or wherever I don't know the first
It's
place
insane.
in Mexico. But like, isn't that crazy? Like,
Oh, it's amazing.
Wow.
Seattle, by the way, was 4 hours away.
yes, 4
3 hours and 59 minutes, rounding up to 4.
Okay. So this next one is Reno, Nevada.
Ryan, do you like Reno or not?
I've never been.
Every time I ask Mariah to go to Reno with me, she says no.
It just reminds me of like old people gambling.
Wow. Wow,
I mean,
that was
okay. So
insultive.
Vegas is close to. It's like only an hour flight from us, but it's a lot further drive. But for some, but Reno's a lot closer. It's like driving wise. Never been there. Have you driven there before, right?
Yeah, the Reno
Yeah.
drive, I mean, it's okay. It's not the most fun. It's very dry, deserty, and, I think it's pretty boring. And it is pretty far away if you really look at the times. It's 8 hours and 36 minutes.
It's like San Francisco. It's not. I mean,
Yeah, but
when you're doing
sometimes
it,
I think
when
I'd
you
rather
do it,
be in
it's not
California
bad.
than Nevada.
Yeah, I just
especially
feel-
going to Reno. It's a small little city.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't talk because I've never been there, but I
Yeah.
imagine there not being that much to do. Maybe I'm wrong.
You-
Maybe
you-
I'm totally wrong.
You have
I
the
don't know.
downtown area,
Yeah.
and I recommend you fly there personally. But it is a decent road trip though. You are going through some passes. That is the thing. You got a couple passes to go through, and you're doing.
Oh, there's a couple
Yeah,
passes. Are they
yeah.
like pretty scary?
You got the Highway 22. You're on smaller highways,
Oh,
so
okay.
you got one lane highway stuff. So you definitely want to be alert, especially if you're driving at night. You got wildlife. That's a big one that I did notice is. There's a lot of wildlife. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Like out there on those roads?
Yeah,
Huh.
like the deer and stuff.
Is it
they
like
could be running
desert
in front
you're
of you.
driving through?
Yeah, deserty, but then there's also territorial, like mountainous like,
Interesting.
things. So it's a good drive, though. You can go 85, 90 a lot of the ways, that nobody
No one's out there.
is on the road. It's one of those drives.
Wow.
So
The worst pass I've ever driven on. We'll have to do a whole different show on day trips in Oregon because there's a lot
Day
of day
trips?
trips too. But the worst, you know what? I guess this isn't really a day trip. This could be a road trip. The worst pass I ever went on or drove on myself was to Crater Lake. It was so scarring that I don't even want to
pass
go
is
there
not
ever
bad.
again. It's beautiful.
People rather
but
be
I
on
would
that pass.
No, it was. I was scared. Okay, I was really scared. It's literally like a straight drop off, and it was dark too, and I just wasn't expecting that. I don't need to go there again. But that is another, you could go on a road trip there to Crater Lake. How far is that? 3 hours, 4 hours?
Since I got my phone out. Crater
Lake in Oregon. I don't know what town it's in.
3 hours.
3. Okay.
48 minutes.
So I don't think 3.
That's like going to Seattle.
That's not really like a road trip. I mean, it's
crazy.
I don't know. What's considered a road trip? Is 4 hours a road trip? Is it? It's not really. It's just like driving somewhere. Because I feel like a road trip is like you stop in multiple towns. You know, like road trip. I don't know.
Yeah, you map it out.
I don't know.
You find a hotel. You get a little lunch. Because like whenever I go to California, especially like Redding or where Mariah's family lives, there's like a couple truck stops that you want to go to. There's a breakfast place that is unbelievable. It's a diner. There's an ice cream shop, and they're all along the I-5 corridor. So
they're
you
like
pick up,
you know your spots if you've like done the road trip before. You know, like
it's generally like when you're behind the wheel getting antsy.
Do you remember that restaurant? We've stopped there before, but it's a restaurant like every time my family. Slice of Heaven, or every time my family would drive to California, which was like every year growing up because I have a lot of family there, we would always stop at this one restaurant, and it's all homemade. It's literally the middle of nowhere. I'm like, how do you guys get business? It's in the middle of nowhere, in between Oregon and California, and just off of the I-5, and it's all Thanksgiving food, but it's year round and it's all homemade. It's literally just like this giant Thanksgiving feast. So no matter what time of year you go, you can just like enjoy that. But it's so random.
And their servings are massive.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So the next one I have is Lake Tahoe. I don't know. I don't know how far that is. I've never been there, but I've heard it's really fun.
Is that in Washington? No, that's Idaho, huh?
No, it's California. It's actually
like Tahoe in California?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's not far, but
Lake
we've
Tahoe,
just never been there. Yeah.
Your location.
I think it's like
9 hours and 21 minutes.
Wait, is half of it in California and half in Nevada? I feel like it is. I could be wrong, but I feel like I've heard that.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. Yeah, it's like that direction at least.
Because, you drive through Klamath Falls. Yeah, it's past Reno. It's literally just past Reno. Yeah.
Okay, so another road trip.
I think that's Nevada.
Nevada. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Another road trip you could take is the Columbia River Gorge. Just like driving that. It's really pretty. Hood River. I don't know how you really tell how far that is because I don't think it's like one destination.
It's on I-84. It'll be about 2 hours away.
It's a pretty drive. And then also, so the last thing is the Oregon coastline. That's another. We've driven a little bit. We've driven from like beach to beach to beach on the coastline, but we've never done like the full like.
I think that's
drive.
wise though to do.
Yeah.
If you're passing through Oregon and have the availability to be more on the coastal side of Oregon, I do recommend taking the coastal line drive. What highway is that? It might be Highway 20. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but it is a beautiful drive. It is actually a scenic drive nationally known. Yeah. And yes, it might take you longer to get where you need to be, but I think if you're not too worried about time, maybe you're in a motorhome, maybe you're in an RV, something like that.
Or you're in it to enjoy the drive, not to get to the destination.
It definitely is quite unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's all we got today. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell because we come on here every single week with new videos, and we will see you guys next week.